Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. Today we chat Mfundo Vilakazi. We chat about some fan members who have been challenging me on certain topics, and the latest one they were challenging me on is the fact of my comments that I said yesterday. And the person who challenged me was Cornelius. He's a Sundown supporter, but he watches the channel and he also supports the channel. So Cornelius, we're gonna be addressing that. And Baba, I enjoy when you challenge me. It keeps me on my toes. And thank you, Cornelius. You have been great for the channel. Thank you, my brother. But I'll address you after this. And before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Subscribe. Key weekend, hey, we're gonna be watching Champions League. We're gonna be watching English Premiership while we wait for our beloved Kaizer Chiefs. But anyway, let's get to this. And don't forget the Kaizer Chiefs keeper competition, 30 August. A Kaizer Chiefs member who pays $20 to the channel is probably gonna be a winner. And if you think this thing doesn't happen, you must ask Wongale to who we have already given a skipper to. But let's get to it. Mfundo Vilakazi basically came onto the channel, onto our post and commented on Showboating, because you guys remember that when we played Young, Mfundo was doing Madribulana when we were losing, and Aziski came out and then he bashed Mfundo Vilakazi, said it's nonsense, you can't be doing those things when your team is losing, etc. And even great players like Ronaldo, you'll never see them doing that nonsense and stuff. And the whole of South African Twitter and the media were bashing Aziski. They're like, you don't know Tanji, you don't know our soccer way. Yes, when Aziski was just dinner. And then I was like, hey Baba, Aziski is talking facts. But now, because South Africans like this gassy football way, people dribble and pass back, yes, see, now we have dribbling wizards who don't know how to dribble and score. Like, you don't find, I'm looking for that one gassy dribbling wizard who we know, guys, good. This guy, Ushaya hat-trick each and every game because of Vitizaban. There's no such person. All of these guys, they are called dribbling wizards. Whatever. But delivery, zero. You can't see no goals. When you go to Kasi football and you expect to see goals, unamanga. So anyway, what happened is that Mfundo Vilakazi spoke to Far Post, and he basically said this is what Nabi said. Nabi said Mfundo Vilakazi must not dribble, must not showboat, especially if the team is losing, and especially if it's not him dribbling to find a way to go forward. If he's doing these things of climbing on the ball, etc., it does nothing for the team. So he should not do it. So Nabi said he mustn't do it unless the team is winning. So Mfundo Vilakazi said around the 80th minute, if the team is winning, then Nabi said go ahead, showboat. If we're winning 80th minute, sharp, showboat. Or if you're using your skill to go forward, then sharp, do it, Baba's dribble to go forward, etc. But not this thing of you losing 2-0 when you give a ball, you putting your head on the ball, you shayama spin around, shayama flying kick, and then we're like, aye man, pass it ball, man. So that's what's happening. And I have been saying this in my previous video where I addressed this Aziski bashing. This is what I said. That is what Nabi said. Let me tell you something, and you guys are going to say we're lying. And say, what Nabi said, let me make this clear. What Nabi said, Kaizer Chiefs, the dominant Kaizer Chiefs of the past used to do. This thing of Ukibeli ball and stuff when you're losing was never a thing. We used to beat you to dribble you, Baba. With you, everyone knew the moment Chiefs Iklabanga 4, forget, they're gonna dribble you the whole game, and they will still score number 5 and 6. That is how Chiefs used to be so dominant back in the past. It felt like we were dribbling people every game, but it's because Bespa Shaya, when 6-3 not. And it's 85th minute. But now today, we ask our Mfundo Vilakazi to dribble because my chances you're winning. I guess Babone dribble because it's loser. Every game is a tight game. See 1-1, see loser 3-0. So Mfundo might as well dribble because Tinas win. So that is what's happening. And I didn't like that thing of making Mfundo to the dribble and doing the showboating and not going forward, because the boy has talent, and if he just uses his dribbling to go forward and he keeps doing game in, game out, game in, game out, game in, game out. Then all of a second Sunday, Mfundo Vilakazi has 3 assists per game, 2 assists per game. And no one, if Mfundo has these assists and goals per game, no one will ever speak anything about Mfundo Vilakazi. The next time we will face Younger, and Mfundo Vilakazi has 3 assists and a goal, and he sharpers about Aziz King Amashibobo, they will not say anything because he would have done his job. But anyway, let's get to these other topics. We saw the pictures of the Chiefs training. Hey, Nabi's really pushing these boys, Baba. He's pushing them. I was watching the videos of the training sessions today, and it was really interesting how the different kind... we've never seen Chiefs train the way we've been watching in this preseason. These guys are training movement. They're training movement. The boys look solid. They look fit. These guys are training proper football. And I love it so much. I love watching Kaizer Chiefs training session. Not this thing of the past where each week before a game we would see Chiefs training and all they would do is pass. Helele. Ha, then they're laughing. Then they're always greeting. Hola, Eta, sure, spell. That's all we used to watch on my Kaizer Chiefs training video. It was so boring. But now at least. But let's get to Cornelius's points. Cornelius challenged me on 2 things. He challenged me on what Alexis said about Dotley and Velibai, and he also challenged me about me saying I would rather have a player go to the DDC than the NFD. Let's start with Dotley and Velibai. I've already responded to Cornelius, but what I said is that Alexi basically said that Dotley, how he came up and how he played professional team league. Chiefs wanted Dotley from the NFD. From the NFD, Chiefs wanted Dotley, and it's the same with Velibai. Velibai played most of his professional games, 99, about 73 of them are from the NFD. So Alexi was basically saying Velibai has played enough games to warrant the amount he's worth. And I said, but that's not how football works. Football is not about how much games you've played. Football is about the impact you've made on the game. That is what football is about. And my argument was this. I was like, he must not compare how much times Dotley has played and whether Chiefs had interest in Dotley when he was in the NFD. That's irrelevant because Dotley, if we tell the truth, Chiefs wanted Dotley from 18 because Dotley was wanted high and low by teams overseas, by agents, by everyone wanted a piece of Dotley before he even touched the PSL. That is how good he is. And that's what happens. Sometimes there's a player who rocks up somewhere in the NFD, in the Mutsipa, what, etc. And they're talent and team, people want them. You see? And that's what happens. But Velibai, no one was talking. I don't remember Velibai's name ever in the NFD. I don't remember next. I don't remember him until he arrived in the DSTV Prem. That is where I knew about Velibai. And then from there, Chiefs all of a second Sunday now wants to buy Velibai. Now we know. But before that, who was chatting about him? Which overseas teams were saying they want him? Where was the hype around him? Nowhere. It's only when he arrived now. And just because the player has had one good season, in the books of the market had one good season, you can now not make him be worth 8 million. Let me give you context. Ashley Dupree, Abom Tetra, even Dotley himself, Chiefs paid between 8 to 10 million, somewhere around those players, somewhere around that. Ashley Dupree and Tetra have already been established players in the PSL. They went for 8 to 10. Dotley has been very good, like a talent from 18, meaning that he was being wanted by European teams, meaning Chiefs was going to be hard for him to sign. That's why Chiefs was rejected back then, because they thought they can get more money from European teams. So you understand why he'll cost that much, and everyone thinks he's going to become the next Bafana player. But Velibai is a talent, but who has not reached his capabilities. Yes, he may have potential, but let me tell you something about potential. Let's go to Pakamani Mahlambi. Potential of being the best player in South Africa. Where is potential today? So that's what I wanted to say. With this, what you do with potential, that you strike deals and have add-ons. Add-ons is saying, I'm going to Chiefs is going to come and say, I'm going to give you 6 million. But if Velibai wins a player of the tournament, if Velibai wins most improved, if Velibai wins player of the season, if Velibai ends up with 10 assists, if Velibai ends up with 10 goals, if Velibai has the most assists at Kaizer Chiefs, the most goals at Kaizer Chiefs, all of these are incentives to then give Cape Town Spurs more money. That's what you put in the contract. If Chiefs sell Velibai for 30 million, you say, we want 20% of however much you sell it. That means it's another 6 million. That is how you strike a deal for a player with potential. If he doesn't reach those heights, and if Chiefs can never sell him at 30 million, then Cape Town Spurs will only be left with that 6 million they got from day one. And that's good enough. That's how you strike a deal. But anyway, that is just me. Let's get to that other point about players, about the NFT. I argued this with Cornelius. Which players, Cornelius, have Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Cape Town Spurs, SuperSport, everyone loaned to the NFT and they come back better? NFT does not improve players, and that is what I am arguing. NFT does not improve our players that are already signed for teams in the Premiership. And what Cornelius was arguing with me is that Mara NFT has had Spio Shabalala, Tiko Modise, has been naming all these players who were found there, and that's the difference. You can have a player who is found in the NFT because maybe that NFT is a team that is from his hood. So he went and tried for that team. And then that team plays in the NFT, and a PSL team will be like, that player should not be in this NFT team. And they take him. And then they sign him. That's different. That is talent identification. Talent, you don't just find talent in an academy of Kaizer Chiefs. You find talent in academy of Kwatwa, in academy of Zarist, wherever, Estarist, wherever, Kailicha. You will find talent in those places that play maybe Vodacom, NFT, etc. You will find the talent there. You'll find the Saleng there. You'll find all these players, Abomujele, you'll find them there. But don't make one mistake, that if these players are already part of Kaizer Chiefs, don't think an NFT team will develop those guys. Because a lot of those players that come from the NFT still need to be developed by the Premiership team. The team that is in the PSL, in the DStv Prem or Betway, still has to improve that player that they're bringing. Tiko Modise still have to be given a chance to adjust. Shabalala given a chance to adjust to the DStv Prem. A lot of the talent that is even been identified in the NFT has not even survived in the PSL. And my argument was this: if I take a player and send him to the NFT, we have sent Tibedis, we have sent so many players, guys, Milazi, Tibedi, we have sent Sifama, we have sent so many. How many players were in Pretoria Callis that we thought were the next best Kaizer Chiefs players, but they disappeared? Yeah? Because the NFT doesn't develop players. So my argument was this: if you have players, you truly believe them, send them to a team in the 3rd division in Europe and say they must go play there. Chiefs must loan those players there, and they can at least be part of professional football, but they learn discipline. Because in Europe, it's all about discipline. It's not about, hey, you need talent, it's about discipline. Or at the worst, you keep the players in the DDC. And why I said DDC, how many players has the DDC produced who are high quality, who are PSL players? Rilebogile, Mfundo Vilakazi, Dushabalala, Samkelo Khadebe, Tapelo Maseko, Shandray Campbell. There's a new boy who's coming from SuperSport, Bezadenhout. I think Lyle Foster even played there. Liam Jordan played there. Nkosimpilo Ngobo played there. Rapo, who's now the left back from SuperSport, played in the DDC. Yeah? Guys, I can go on forever and ever and ever. Name all these players that the DDC has developed. Meaning, the competition in the DDC has helped these players reach the next level. Tapelo Maseko, how easy was it for him to adjust to the PSL from the DDC? Very easy. Mfundo Vilakazi, Dushabalala, Samkelo Zwane. It's been very easy for them to adjust to the PSL. Chiefs, yeah, unfortunately, they have had bad coaching. Rilebogile Mfukeng, yes, Yena, he was not developed in DDC, but he was developed in school soccer, ended up in DDC, killed DDC in his first season, promoted to first team, and the rest is history. Shandray Campbell, where is he today? Belgium. From one season, he was living in DDC 1 season PSL Belgium. Guys, the DDC competition and how players are coached there better develops these players for the DSTV and Betway leagues. This thing of taking a player and taking him to NFT, it does not work. It does not work. Some people will even say Pesitao did not have a good time in NFT. Pito had to even recall him because he saw good. He's getting wasted that side. They are not doing things right with him there. So that is what I was arguing. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you guys think that sending a player from who's already in part of your team to the NFT is better than keeping him in DDC and loaning him to a lower division league in the in Europe is better. So you would rather send a player to NFT than keeping him in DDC or sending him to a lower league in Europe. Tell me, Amakhosi.